Okay, we've got another great swing sent to us here from a golf professional to take a look at. This is Mark Crossfield. Let's see if we can give you some more golfing help. Okay, interesting points here to note. We've got great swing sent to me here on the left from a golf professional. Lots of great movements, really strong setups and good positions that he's getting into, but there's one fault which is going to get him a little unstuck, and it's all to do with hip turn. More precisely, it's to do with hip tilt. What we're going to notice here, so we've got two players here. So we've got our guy on the left, and we've got Justin Rose here on the right. Now, set-up positions, as you'd expect from a good professional, very, very similar. What we're going to notice, though, as soon as the swing starts, is there's quite a different amount of hip turn, or a different method of turning the hips in the backswing. So let me show you what I mean. Here we go, swing on the left. What we're going to start noticing very early is a large amount of hip tilt. If we compare that to someone like Justin Rose here on the right, this is a high-speed shot, but you're going to get the right ideas. There's a bit more frames to go through. Okay, so the hip tilt there is completely different. So you see the different shape in the left leg. Left leg really hasn't done much at this stage on this picture here. The left leg is not really doing much, where on our pro here on the left, we're seeing the left knee come across a lot more. And this is creating a large amount of hip tilt. Now this hip tilt will make it very hard for you to get the correct width on the backswing. It will make it very hard for you to get the correct paths on the downswing. You might find that you get a little bit blocky on the downswing. Find that you have to use your hands a lot to actually straighten the ball up, or turn more excessively on the way through than you should do. For me, it's all about this hip tilt. You want to be thinking about getting this action here out of your swing. If I take you up to the top of your backswing, what you're going to notice is you actually are the correct distance behind the ball. You've moved your upper body behind the ball about the same amount as someone like Justin Rose here. But it's more to do with the angles that you've put in. That hip tilt is going to be very hard for you to get that taken out. It's going to make you a bit steep on the downswing. Also, you can see the difference in the wrist hinge on the way back, which is subject to this hip tilt as well. So let's get in the studio and show you exactly what I mean. Okay, hip tilt. This is really common amongst golfers, actually. It's quite misunderstood amongst golfers. So what we're seeing is we're seeing a backswing where there's the right amount of hip turn in the backswing. So the hips are turning the right amount, but they're just tilting too much. So what that means is the left hip is going much lower than the right, so left pocket coming much lower than the right on the backswing. What this tends to do is get quite a hingy backswing, get turning a little bit on the left side, and you're going to be coming down quite steep, pulling down quite sharp into the ball, not getting the width that you require. Where when we compared it to Justin Rose there on the screen, we were seeing it's quite a different backswing where the hips were staying a lot more level. There's a minimal amount of hip turn, a hip tilt going into the backswing. So the hip turn on both players was about the same, but the tilt was very different. So hip tilt, if you get that hip tilt wrong, so left hip going much lower than the right, like I said, it makes you quite sharp, quite steep into the ball, very easy just to block the ball out to the right. You're going to have to start using your hands quite aggressively not to do that, which is something a better player just won't really let themselves do, because that'll feel a little bit out of control if you're flipping the club too much. So great point for you to work on, in my opinion, is about trying to turn on the backswing like you're doing. Forget what's happening up this half. I think much more around your core, hips and centre of your body, and getting this to turn a little bit better. So it's about turning it the same amount, but as you make your backswing, really feel like the left pocket is just maintaining some height. Feel like you're turning much more down into your right pocket, down into your right side. That will instantly give you the feeling like you're getting behind the ball a lot more, which is something I know you mentioned in your email. But trying to turn behind the ball isn't really helping, because you can see from the videos, you were behind the ball enough, it's just that your hips are at the wrong angle. Now if you relate this to your downswing position, so thinking about trying to open up on the way through, let's say you've got 30 degrees of hip turning, same as Justin, but then let's say you've got 20 degrees of hip tilting compared to maybe his 12 or 6 degrees of hip tilt. So that means you've got 50 degrees of angles that you need to take out to get back to neutral. In an impact position, you'll actually be open and your hips will be tilting more up towards the range. So if you're putting 30 degrees of hip turning, 20 degrees of tilt, trying to get into a cleared, open up through impact position is going to be near on impossible for you. So you try and hit shots by opening yourself up isn't going to help, because it's such a big job to do from the backswing position you've got yourself into. So really the key here for me, it's one thought, and it'll sort out your backswing, and it'll certainly help you sort out your downswing almost without you having to think about it, and it's that hip tilt on the backswing. Make some swings where you hit some shots, really feeling like you're keeping the left pocket up. We can see from your swing, first movement, as you bring the club back, the left pocket really starts dipping down low. You want to feel that as you make your backswing, it's much more from here as you keep your knees and your hips out of it, than just that little bit of turn on the backswing as you try and keep that hip tilt down to a minimal. Top of your backswing, you should almost feel like your hips are quite level. If you can get that working, that impact position is much easier to get through the ball from there because you haven't got so many angles to take out. If you put lots of angles in on the backswing, you're going to have to take them all out on the downswing. It's a bigger job, it's a bigger question, and your shots won't be as good for it. So backswing, hip tilt, try and keep the left pocket high. Really feel like that's maintaining its height on the backswing. That'll give you the sensation that you're moving behind the ball a bit more. It should hopefully give you the sensation of creating a bit more width as well, because you do get a little bit sharp. And really that helps you straighten up your club face through impact by a better turn through impact. That better turn on the way down is coming from that much more constructive backswing. Hope that helps. Guys, any comments, post below. Always interested to hear what you got to say. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.